It's
It's a
just
pretty interesting format. I feel like I don't know if there's anything like nearby that does that, but like a cruise league seems pretty cool.
oh, I think it's like I think that in terms of driving community engagement, this is like one of the best ideas that like somebody's had in a very very long time. Because
Yeah.
like it gets the top players invested in like the performance and improvement of like their like middle and like they're good but like not great players, and I think that's really a massive triumph of it. Like we have Lord Tet is one of their like higher ranked players, and he's in the chat answering like in our cruise channel all the time, and he's like playing with like other with the other players. Like he's played with Mia and like SRM, and just like he's just and Cake, like he's just here all the time. And then like Monk is like Monk's like also like thinking very critically about strategy, and I think that like previously he's very much a vibes player. It's like really cool. People are really hustling, and I have been
That's pretty
told
sweet.
I'm an unfair advantage, which is not surprising, but also I don't know. I like being an unfair advantage. It feels kind of sick. How are you
Maybe other
doing
kids
though?
could pay you too.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I guess the story of my summer has been like I'm traveling every other week basically, but uh, I was able to play melee while I was traveling, which is good.
And you fought a Marth. And the Marth is like
Yes,
significantly harder than the not Marth.
yeah, and I think well, I had a bunch of theories as to why, but I don't know if any of them are really like the root cause or not.
Oh, well,
Those are
let's take a look then.
sure. I guess the things I listed were like, well, actually, there's one thing that I didn't list that I have noticed more when I'm playing is like, you know how there's like different styles of Mars, so that there's like people that spam aerials in place and stuff like that, or people that are just throwing out F smashes, and I've noticed that like, um, that if it's people that don't mix up that much, like if I get a pretty clear read on their style, especially the ones that like spam aerials a lot, I feel like I know how to interact with that. Um, whereas like I don't know what it is, but there's like this magnetism that Marth has, and like uh, it's the people that I feel like aren't doing much are the ones that I have the hardest time against, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Um,
That definitely makes sense. Like you're when you're fighting the aerial Marths, why do you think that's like less stressful or like more straightforward?
I think I have something to like react to basically. Like I have a timing I can aim to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Um and also like, they'll sorry, I my English just stopped working. They're vulnerable on landing, and also like I can full hop over them and hit them too. So it's like there's a bunch of things I can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's the people that like stand there or like dash dance a lot or something like that where it's like I I think it what my guess is like I don't have the precision to, or I'm not playing with the precision I need to like punish that when I'm doing the approaches. And I also like I guess we talked about how I'm also a bit impatient where I'll like try and force the interactions a lot more than I probably should if I'm playing intelligently.
Well, so one question I'd have here is like because I know we've talked about this stuff before, but one thing I'd say is so we know that like the aerial bit makes sense. That's kind of what I figured as well. You have a visual cue and an audio cue for that matter. You have like a lot of cues that like indicate and allow you to follow along the Marth's like jump trajectory, which means that there's certain givens that are there that are not there, or that versus a dash dance. Because you know that when Marth touches the ground, there's always going to be a little bit of an action, so there's always going to be an opportunity for you to do something. Even if you
Yeah.
choose not to act on it, you know it's there.
Yeah.
Um, the impression I'm getting is with Dash Dance, there are certain givens there too, but they're not as like it's not as straightforward how we turn that into an opening, because Dash Dancing, its main superpower, is that it is the only movement form of the big three. Like it's the only movement stance of the big three that does not have any time of inaction during it. There's
Yeah.
always something that you can technically do. However, its drawback is that it is also the most restrictive or least powerful of the three in terms of what options are available to you. because styles that are based on styles that are or fighting styles that are based on like entering stand through like wave dash or running crouch or something like that, or walking, they're either slow, laggy, or both. Relative to like the dynamic movement of a dash dance. The air is also restrictive, but the tools you have access to from the air are very powerful. Like aerials, like nothing matches the efficiency of a descending aerial in this game in terms of sheer offensive output. So I think that and then on top of that, the air is not nearly as like one note as it used to be, like what with shield dropping and everything being what it is.
Yeah.
So I think that but that said, I can see how the other two are more straightforward because you have like a concrete window you can look for. I think the trick with dash dancing is to understand the limitations of it. The fact that they don't have as many options and what that means for them.
That makes sense.
But it's not it's not as easy to like turn that into something though. Like it makes sense, but like what do we do with it? Like that's always the challenge.
Yeah. I guess in terms of like options that they don't have, they definitely don't have crouch. What are like the other limitations for that?
Sure. So let me show you something. I'm gonna boot up Uncle Punch and I'm gonna show you some stuff. Oh, why is this not working? Oh, it's because my controller is not plugged in. That would do it. Don't be like me. Plug in your controller. And then I'll share my screen once I'm in the mode. And I'll go to the training lab, sure. So, let me do this.
Oh, the other thing that notches have made much easier is recovering against Marth. I like not having to interact with counter is such a big thing, I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So one big thing about dash dancing that I think that's like a restriction is dash dancing kind of has a range to it, doesn't it? Like I can't really go further than this without entering a new movement, can I?
Right, yeah.
So like if I want to like move forward or away, you notice that like you can kind of follow where just watch specifically where Marth is standing. Like when you see how like there's a frame where he turns around and he's standing up.
Holy shit, I don't think I ever realized that there's like one frame where he's just straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it moving.
Yeah, because like that's where pivots occur.
Yeah, okay.
So, watch where he so how do you tell if he's moving towards you or moving away from you? Where does that
if the stand is getting closer to you, then he's moving towards you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting.
If he's moving away, he's like also doing that. See what
yeah.
So you can tell a lot about you can tell a lot about where Marth is moving based on like where that is. Based on where his like it's almost like his shadow based on where that is. You can also just watch where like he chooses to turn around, like what the lengths of his dash are, like where are the smoke clouds near his feet? Because that's another way you can do it. Like see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They like pull away or move forward.
Yeah. I think like I don't think I pay attention to either of those things, so I feel like I must just be like thinking about I must just be like trying to read people when I'm like looking at their dash dance patterns, to be honest.
I think that you're probably making I don't think it's like quite that like bad. I think not even bad. I don't think it's quite that uninformed. What I suspect is going on is that you're basing everything around assuming that he has like the full range of his dash from where he is.
Yes, I definitely am.
But like he doesn't have to. But that's not necessarily in his best interest. Like why would I want to be closer than this, right? So like am I really gonna come all the way forward?
Right. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't like. What do I gain from doing this, right? I think that's like a big thing with like Marths that don't do as much. So now let's like from Fox's side, let's make this. Let's do some stuff. So let's have Marth. Yeah. So if Marth is doing this, where do you think that Fox should be aiming?
If I'm trying to overshoot, I feel like towards the end of the dash dance.
Yeah, so like here?
Yeah. It's like running shine towards the end and like maybe an aerial after that or something like that.
So something like that.
Yeah.
Oh god, I have to short hop. Something like that, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't short hop.
But like, are you on the jump controller?
Yep.
Okay.
So something like that, I think, makes a ton of sense. I think we agree. But what if you don't want? What if you don't want to necessarily like? What if you just want to like? What if you don't necessarily? What's another spot? What another way we could do it though? Like, because we don't necessarily want to like just overshoot every time, you know?
Yeah. I think this is something I struggle with, where like, I like think I have the space to like do an undershoot drill or something like that, and then I feel like they punish me a lot for that. So like towards the early part of their dash dance, I guess.
Okay, and like how do you time your approaching move then? Like when do you attack him?
Well, it definitely should be like after his turnaround, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like
I'm
that,
like,
right?
Yeah, like I'm trying to think about. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the scenarios, but to be honest, like, when I'm like thinking about my thought patterns, I don't know. This is probably a bad thing, but I'm like not sure if I'm like thinking about this or like autopiloting it in my brain.
Well, you don't. Well, you won't be thinking about it like consciously because this is something that you haven't really like encountered before. Like this is a way of thinking about this movement that we haven't really like.
Yeah.
It hasn't crossed your mind before. That's okay. But yeah. So what I would say is, so think about like where the end of his dash dance is, right? Where that white cloud is. With that in mind, like, well, the thing that I would be curious about is, if we know that that's where his like dash dance ends, right? Because like there's like once he dashes back, there's a range to which he can like there's a range on how far back he can go, right?
Yeah.
So we probably want to base it more around that, right? Because like if we land here when he's doing back, like it's not trivial for him to like there's a point at which he has to like it becomes awkward for him to like he has to keep going. Like if we attack him here, right? He has to keep going, but then he can't do a pivot grab anymore because he's entering run.
Yes.
So that's one way we can approach it, because like this makes his like turnaround punish more inefficient because we are adding frames to like to his startup.
Got it. Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
But we can also do it here. But I don't really like this one as much versus Marth specifically, but like it is an option. Like we can kind of like do like the thing where we like stop outside his range, but I think like the big thing is we need to like either pressure him so that he has to move even further back, like do longer movements away. We want to make it so that the standard dash back, like where he puts his character just with like by dashing away at full distance, is awkward.
Yeah.
And then I think if we do that, then it's easier to overshoot after the fact. Like, so it's easier to control space with stuff like this after the fact. And one thing I noticed with Cody is that he doesn't even bother with a lot of this stuff. Like, or if he does kind of like these short hop mirrors.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if this is if I'm just not understanding something, but whenever I watch Cody, I feel like he kind of like can just force interactions whenever he wants to, compared to like other foxes. I don't know if that's like really true, but I don't know. I feel like he's able to get away with like a lot more aggression than other people can.
Yeah. So why don't we do it? I'm thinking then, if that's the case, maybe a compare and contrast makes sense. So like, do you have any VODs of you versus like a Marth player that gave you trouble?
Let me see. I might. The other thing I was going to say is also, I think also my move choice is probably kind of poor, because like, I think that, I mean, this is just, I think this is just like, what do you call it? Not thinking, but like, yeah, I think I need to, when I undershoot, I think I like do go for dare a lot more, and that just cuts off my range a lot, so I think I need to actually just space snares instead of that.
It's also like there's a certain value in a powerful hit that I think that is easy for us to overlook as well. Like
Yes.
a chunky hit like back air or nair, just doing a bunch of damage and like hitting someone away is very, very, very useful. So I think that like that might be something we want to think about in general. Let me see here.
Let me see. Do I have any recent Marth mods?
At you.
I have one, but I farmed the Marth, and so I don't know if it's very useful.
Let's watch some Cody Zain then.
Okay.
I thinking Big House 11 makes sense.
Yeah,
like
it's the last time they had a good match.
Well, yeah, because like Battle of BC was just Zain getting rinsed, and then
Yeah.
Which I mean, like, you know, I love seeing a Marth get rinsed as much as the next person, but I don't know how useful it's gonna be. So Cody wins. Let's look at their Dreamland. Let's look at their Dreamland game actually, because I feel like that is a stage that you probably don't like if you're like getting dashbacked a lot.
Yeah, it's. I know it's like a good stage for. So it's like good because I can live forever, but I also just have like a harder time interacting with Marth on that stage.
Yeah, so let's like let me like just adjust the volume so you can hear the characters just a little bit, but not. And now let's start off with like how this game opens, because I think that we already see some pretty good stuff. Like they're basics, but like my goodness, look at this opening combo. Just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I think he messed that up. Like I think he meant to fast fall, but like you see how like everything he's doing is just like limiting Zain's ability to interact with him. It's all very like, it's like everything's just a solid hit or a setup for a solid hit. I think that hitting Marth hard is underrated because he is pretty light relative to the other like top tier characters. It's like he's in the middle of the pack, but he's lighter than Sheik and Peach, and lighter than Falcon. Definitely lighter than Yoshi, and it like definitely light. I think he's actually lighter than Climbers too. And like out of all like the kind of like good characters, yeah, he's actually not that heavy. So he takes a lot of knockback like laterally once he gets a chunk of damage, and I feel like we don't really use that enough. Yeah, like he's in control like this entire like first stock. Like after he gets that F smash, so he messes this up. I think he could have like dash danced into Shine on this, or like short hop Shine, but like
it looked like, I think he was trying to short hop the top of the up B maybe, or short hop back here, or I don't know. Maybe
yeah, that would make sense. I think he might have also meant to like full hop. I think he might have meant like full hop Waveland kind of thing maybe, or like full hop fast fall back air, because I think this would have worked. But I think he just missed the fast fall or got caught on the platform. And then we just have like this. I like the weak hit there for keeping Marth above him so that he can look for that. Like look for like something when Marth is coming down, not that specifically, but like, yeah, it's just all of this is just very, very well done. And he looks and then like uses his shield. I'm amazed Zain lived that. That was insane.
Yeah, he was in advantage state the whole stock.
Mm-hmm. And however many hits it takes. Zain's DI is crazy here.
Yeah, living at 166.
You can see like how he just kind of like hops above him though and comes down with back air like when he's got Zain. It's almost like when Zain is just about to land from like punishment a lot, or like when Zain is just trying to establish like offense out like coming out of disadvantage. Like that's when Cody strikes with that kind of thing.
Oh, so I have a question about these scenarios actually. I feel like I get caught by them by the gimps like probably way too often. Like they feel like they have a really high success rate against me. I'm wondering if like there's a flowchart I should be following for like escaping these like getting thrown off the stage and then down tilted scenarios.
Yeah, so where do you think Cody's DI input was on this?
Was this out and then he double jumped into air dodge?
Yeah, so like what he did was, so like let's go through this. So he double jumps here into air dodge, going over the second down tilt. gets on stage by doing so, then gets hit by this down throw down tilt, and then air dodges again. What Cody's doing a good job of is he's just being stubborn about, like, landing on stage whenever he can. Like, if there's a way that he can get back on stage with his jump, he knows that, like, Marth doesn't have, like, an instant kill on him unless he, like, basically DIs into up throw down air. Yeah. I think so. The thing about the down throw down tilt stuff is that there's kind of a 50-50 in the sense that, like, if you DI into Marth's forward throw, then you can get hit by things after the forward throw, guaranteed. But if you DI out to get out of the forward throw, then you can get hit by up throw down air.
Okay.
So
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So given your options between the two, I generally think the thing you can also no DI. No DI is actually not that bad of an option. I think it prevents you from getting, like, F throw. I think you don't get, like, hit by, like, F throw F smash. And depending on how far you are from the edge, you might I don't think you can, like, sometimes you don't get hit by up throw down air.
Dare, yeah.
Or, like, you can, but, like, you have to DI out on the dare in order for it to kill you. Because you could also up throw fair in that case. But you're creating, like, he then has to get, like, the right grab, the right throw, and then has to get the right DI. In order to punish no DI at those mid percents. So I think that there's a lot of, I think in general it's actually good to DI in on Marth there. Just because up throw down air kills you instantly, whereas, forward throw down tilt does not.
Okay, so it's just, like, maximizing your chances, basically.
Yeah, you still probably want to, like, occasionally, like, DI away from the forward throw down tilt. But, like, you still want to DI away from the forward throw down tilt, but it is basically just a 50. It is basically a 50-50.
Got it. Okay.
And then no DI is, like, the other option that's, like, kind of good, because it's, like, you won't get hit by the most egregious things after, like, you won't get hit by the most devastating things after the forward throw, but, like, you also won't get hit by, like, you want to get hit by up throw down or insta die, unless he's really close to the edge. So there's, like, a spatial component with the edge. In fact, let's go back to that situation and see if like work out some of, like, the specifics, because I think that would probably help you some specifics.
Yeah, I feel like I lose, like, one stock every other game from that specific scenario, so, like, it is probably worth.
Yeah. So where is he? So what I would say here is, so we have Marth here and Fox. We have Marth here. We're only really concerned with where he is, because he's the one grabbing us. So from in here, how close to the edge do you think you got to be, generally speaking, for Marth to be able to forward throw, and for Marth forward throw to be good?
For Marth forward throw to be good.
Like, was this forward? I'm not sure I love this forward throw, because, like, he is kind of far away, but, what do you think, where do you think, like, Marth needs to be? Like,
I feel like it looked like the sword wasn't off the edge. I feel like you want the sword, like, going somewhat off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, perhaps, like,
this is where he is.
Yeah. I would say, like, almost at the beginning of, like, the Cody's stock icons.
Yeah, like here?
Yeah.
I would agree with that. So, if we know that he can forward throw here, so, like, what about if he's this close?
I feel like it's harder to if he's that close. Well, at that point, like, I'd be very scared of up throw dare.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like is
but that's not but the question is,
yeah,
where might Marth forward throw us? Like, is it anywhere between these points, or is it, like, is there a point at which you think he would up throw? Like, where does up throw become the better move?
I feel like up throw is better. When is it better? It's definitely better, like, past the stock icon, so, like, a vast majority of that bar. And then I think, like, I think also, like, to be honest, I'm not sure for the split on, like, that small portion where, like, we said forward throw is better, like what part up throw might be better?
Yeah, so like let's consult. Like so, remember, Marth's down air hits at an angle, right?
Yeah.
So, Marth's down air hits like this as a base trajectory, roughly, right?
Yeah.
So we can use this as a reference point. It's just based on our damage. So like, it's just based on how much knockback we have on our thing right now. So, knowing that, if we DI into Marth's down air, we go like here.
Yes. Okay.
So now is it starting to make more sense?
Yeah. So basically, like once down air will like guarantee a spike, that or yeah, a spike. Then we want to, or then forward throw is not as good of an option.
And like the Marth still might forward throw. Like a lot of them don't like do. Like a lot of them aren't aware of like like what player plays perfectly with their character, right?
Yeah.
But like,
but at least you have a chance to live the forward throw versus you don't really have a chance to live the dare.
Correct. So it's all based on like just where they put us, like at a given percent. So like, we might not go this high because again, like this is assuming that we are like thrown up here with our up throw. Like what if we're thrown here, right? Like what if up throw puts us here or puts us, oh, okay, so it's Marth up throw. So what if it puts us here, right? That changes, like because we'd have to like put these trajectories onto this, that's going to change where we go. So, this might be the natural trajectory. They should run parallel. That looks about right. And then at that point, DIing in, these should also run parallel. Yeah, like you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we would hit the edge here. So then in that case, so this is, like, holding in was A-okay here.
Yeah.
Like, no DIing going here was, like, fine. This, I think that, like, the point where we want, like, this bar behind here is, there's kind of like a second, there's like kind of like a set of options here that like people don't really talk about very often that's like kind of exists around like this bar. That's basically kind of how Marth tries to get us to the edge, you know what I mean? Because like there's a lot of like forward throw mix-ups and things that happen within this, this kind of space. And it's I think that like one of the things we want to like, because this is Fox can take advantage of the forward throw and other things going on too. Because again, like Marth's forward throw sends at a very specific, like it sends at a pretty DIable angle. It's very easy for us to get edge cancels off of it, depending on how it sends us. And I'm sure you've seen those before, right?
Actually, I'm not sure. So, what would that be? I guess.
So, like in this box, this blue box I'm kind of creating, there's also a mini game that happens with Marth's like where he's trying to like move us into a spot, into one of these spots, right?
Right, he keeps throwing you until you get to the edge, basically.
Yeah, but that means that there's counterplay available on our end, and a lot of it takes the form of how do we get the edge slip off from his forward throw. Because if we DI his forward throw like to about this point, like if Marth is throwing us from here, and he DIs and we DI his forward throw down and out, and hit the edge here, we can just grab the edge.
I see. So would that be like the same as like the slide off DI, or would it just be like full further out than down?
It's just down and out. It's just
down
whatever.
And out.
Yeah, it's just the normal DI for the move. That's it.
Okay, I don't think I've ever done that, so I need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, so like how it would look is like you'd have Fox being thrown here, and he's like at this, assuming that Cody did it, he'd kind of go like this. But like except he hits the edge.
I see. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like very, very useful for defense, because like if you once you get onto the edge with Fox, you're generally fine.
Yeah.
It's just like there might be things that go wrong, but like because you have invincible ways onto the stage, there were things you could do. So I would say that like the summary from here is F throw trajectory DI edge cancel, because this isn't a slide off. We're just like it's like when you down throw Sheik's it's when Falcon and Sheik down throw you near the edge, and you like DI and clip the edge of the stage and then grab the edge. It's just that.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the same thing that we're doing there. So F3 trajectory DI edge cancel is an out bracket. Look for it by tech by tech rolling and tech standing strategically. Strategically versus Marth grab RTC. When further back from the edge. No, when further back from the edge in blue box. Then I would say that then be like no DI and versus DI in versus DI outwards. When do I know the distances? No, the distances, or no, know the range where we do each. Where you do each will change with percent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that those are some like the ways that we can like kind of like look at this and try to get out of this. The other big thing I would say is that what Cody's doing a good job of here is his air dodging. Air dodge is your friend in close. No, air dodging back to the stage. No, back to the stage is often better than going for an actual recovery, like going for a recovery special. Because is often better than going for a recovery special. Goal is to just get back and force Marth. No, just get back on stage and test Marth again.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I don't go for the air dodge enough.
Air dodging's so good.
Yeah. Especially when, like, I don't know, especially when you're, like, just under stage, like, up B feels like it's almost always a bad idea because he can just kill you.
He doesn't do it here, but there's also tricks you can do, like setting up wall jumps and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like, I would look for, like, literally anything but up B.
Yeah. Up B just feels like it's a death sentence, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're up being close to him in like a gimp situation. The thing about Fox's up B is it's really good as a recovery move, but it's really bad as a gimp as a like gimp move, as like a recovery move versus gimps.
Yes. Yeah.
But like for actually coming back and having like options like coming down and like being the ability to bounce back, like fight back once you're recovered, it's an incredible move for all that.
Yeah. One thing. I think actually I probably noticed this on the next stock, but one thing I also realized is that one of the things I like about Dreamland is that when I'm like on top plat or when I'm on like a side plat or something, and the Marth is just like underneath me, I have like a lot of space where I can run away and not. I used to have like I feel like a bad habit of like just always going for runoff or shield drop aerials onto Marth, and it feels like it works out very. It has like a very low success rate from what I've noticed, but like you can just run away and then reset to ground much easier on Dreamland.
Absolutely. One thing I'd also say is that like part of I think why the platforms kind of like shield drop stuff stops being like as good versus Marth is because he doesn't really want to interact with somebody who's that like high up. I feel like if you're doing them, especially from top platform, like he just gets out of the way a lot or covers that space, and like it's like what Zain did here. So like here, watch what he does. Covers this space, then runs under the platform, gets the grab.
Yeah.
So like that's because like you're also higher up. That's the thing. There's more travel time with reaching him. I actually really like the up smash there over the up throw.
Oh, why was that? Sorry.
I like the up smash here because like look at where it puts the Marth afterwards. So like this could have been like so money if he gets this up air. Because like if Zain DIs into him, he goes straight above him, and that sucks. If he goes here, he's trapped above the platform, so he doesn't have much defense here either. So up smash, because like the thing about up smash is that it sends up and forward, so it kind of has the Falco shine thing where like you can't really go, or like the Falco up air thing where you can't really go through them.
Okay, so it's just limiting the range that Zain can go, basically.
Yeah, because like here, let's do a comparison. So like, what would happen if Cody up smashed him around like where his percentage is, right?
Yeah.
On the ground, obviously. So where does like let's say that Cody hits him here. We know that up smash sends Zain into this spot, like into like basically this spot, but it could also send him here, like somewhere between these two ranges, because like the natural trajectory is probably about here.
Yeah.
So if we then grab the orange, sorry, that should be the other green. If we then grab the orange color, we know that this is the natural trajectory. Where would his up throw put Zain?
So up throw could go like anywhere between behind and yeah, I feel like it's a lot, much more variability.
Yeah, because Zain has control over which side he comes out on.
Yeah.
So I actually really like the up smash here because like all of these, it does a whack of damage, and then on top of that, like it does damage up front, which I think is quite good when you're ahead. But then it also stands to like also turn into more punishment after the fact, because it does, Cody has so much more control over where Zain goes. Like I feel like a lot of these are really awkward. Not all of them. The one that's awkward is this one, like is this kind of trajectory, where it's like almost on the platform but not really. Like it's kind of like you're kind of aiming for here. Aiming for the edges of platforms in general for Marth is like kind of weird, because on the one hand he wants to hit you in the air, on the other hand he wants, like, if you hit the tech, then he probably can't, like he's probably missed and can't get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when I end up in a scenario where like Marth is on like top plat, because I don't know, it just feels like a 50-50.
No, it's like they're making it ambiguous as ambiguous as you can, and the thing is you want to hit them before they get here, but you don't always know that you can. So like
exactly,
that's kind of the purpose of this. So then Cody's just making sure that stuff like that doesn't happen.
Okay, that's good to know. I feel like I definitely would have gone for grabbing that scenario, so that's why I was curious.
Yeah. Up smash is crazy. Up smash is so good.
It is, yeah. I think I had a really bad. So when I first started playing Melee like a long time ago, one of the things I like learned was like, clawing the JC up smash, and I was like, okay, this is something I can still do when I got back into it. And then I had a really bad habit of spamming up smash, and so I've actually gone the other way, where I feel like I don't use it enough these days.
We call that the Marth effect. All right, let's watch this FD game, because I think that there's going to be more neutral stuff that we can take from here.
Yeah.
Because I think that like now we're into the how does he handle Zain's dashback? So already, very important tool being represented.
The lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're definitely right that a lot of Foxes don't know how to use. Like I feel like I underuse it so much against the whole cast, but like really against Marth.
Yeah, and I want to point something out. Like, look, he just went for that running shine, and he just got out of there immediately when he realized he missed. Running shine completes on frame 4, like, and transitions out into a wave dash or a full hop. Granted, it's not like a dash full hop, but like, come on, like we have stuff out of this. This is perfectly fine. Heck, you can even short hop aerial if you know that they're going to try to come in after immediately. Like, running shine is so good. It is like probably, other than Falco's laser, although even then, it is the best non-projectile overshoot in the game.
Yeah, I've like noticed that just from my like personal play, that like when I'm not feeling like I'm in good form, then I just don't use running shine enough. I've noticed such a stark difference when I see that, and I'm like, okay, let me try overshooting with this more, and then it feels like the biggest difference in my play from like a single move that I can do.
So that means that when that happens, it means we should spam it relentlessly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I start doing when I'm like playing kind of poorly. I'm like, okay, I need to get my running shines on point.
Maybe we should start with them.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if you made sure to do, like, if you made sure that the first move of the game that you did, like the first actual offensive push of the game that you did, was a running shine? I'm not saying the first move, but the first like time that you're really like, okay, it's time to bring the fight to this guy.
Well, they definitely have to worry about my overshoots a lot more.
Yeah, and then it reminds you to do it. It's good.
Yeah, it does remind me to do it.
Like, how did he get that stock? What? Like, I feel like I blinked and I missed it.
I kind of did too, yeah.
He's like, so, okay, cool. So, interestingly, we can actually see the same thing going on with Cody, you see what I mean? Like,
yes.
Okay, cool. So
Did you see his face when he got grabbed?
Oh yeah, no, like, and then like you see he's kind of like he's posturing for whiff punish and overshoot, like with this.
Yes.
Which is kind of like a really which is a really sick combination of things to do, because like I feel like the Marth wants to like swing to stop the Fox's aggression.
Yes.
But then the Fox isn't giving him that. So then Marth wisely is opting to like run away from the Fox because he's just missed moves in front of him. So he thinks like that like a whiff punish attempt is going like. Whiff punishes are really hard in this game, especially like if somebody like Marth with tons of range and like good frame data wants them to be difficult. So then Zain is basically saying, okay, I'm just gonna go for like a dash back on this to make sure I don't get like grabbed or something. And then Cody is like, oh, he's definitely going for a dash back.
I guess from the running shine, he automatically crouch cancels the down tilt.
Yeah, what's interesting here is he's actually wrong. Because like he gets it wrong because Zain gets the D-tilt off, so Zain actually undershot, but thanks to the power of good defense and like
it just works anyways.
Yeah, Cody was like, I've got good on hit defense. For Zain to counter that, what do you think he has to do?
To counter the
running shine, like the running shine attempt.
I guess like either swing fully, like not poke with down tilt, like go for something bigger, or I don't know if I guess grab would work.
Yeah, immediate grab is what I was thinking, because like he doesn't have time to swing with something bigger.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it definitely just has to be grab.
So he has to call it out with raw grab, which works, by the way. That's the Mewtwo.
Yeah,
like that's definitely the Mewtwo King. But like it's like people get it. People get what the Mewtwo King is wrong all the time. Like it's not overshoot dash attack. That is one of the Mewtwo Kings, but the true Mewtwo King, like the pacifist ending Mewtwo King, is just grabbing in place, and it working.
Yeah.
And you notice like how like, oh my god, see how he like waits so much. And then like when Zain wants to come forward, that's when he's like putting his nair there.
Yeah. I guess that was like at the very edge of Zain's. I guess that was like what we were talking about earlier. That was at the very edge of Zain's dash dance that he went in.
Yeah, so like here, watch, like this is the zone he's controlling, and then like when Cody starts engaging more, like so Zain makes the first big commit, which would like the first commitment, which is this. So then he's playing closer. So then he shields in anticipation of something, wave dashes away, and that's when Cody starts like coming over. But he's like, yeah, it's a short dash.
Yeah.
You see how many overshoots he's missing?
Yeah.
But he hasn't gotten punished for them. He maybe took 10 damage. 10 damage for like missing an overshoot that does like that's a combo starter is like totally fine. That would be like wave dashing in at someone with ices and then like getting like F tilted by Samus, and then it's like, okay, whatever, moving on with my day. I notice now he's starting like now that Zain is used to like these overshoots and stuff. Now we've got the full hops coming.
The full hop over, yeah.
Because Zain is like he's going to defend, and then we've got spot dodges, which are also a solution to like undershoot.
Those, yeah. I started spot dodge shine a lot more, and it feels kind of broken.
It is like one of the classic Okay, everyone says that like Sheik and Peach are the execution test characters, but they ain't got nothing on spot dodge shine. Like I'm just gonna come out, or full hop back here. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like,
yeah,
not even close.
I think like half of my Falco problem from when I used to like hate that matchup is like I just didn't interact with spot dodge shine very well. I feel like.
I mean, it does kill you, and it is invincible. So those are like two very good things. Like that's very strong. I don't know. Invincible. I die afterwards. Like if it works, yeah, it seems quite good. I don't know. And like here we go. Like
yeah, the super overshoot running shine.
Like there's so many running shines.
Yeah.
He's always like either like this. He's either at like always a laser spit, like a distance where he can like shoot lasers and like, but still operate with like a good dash dance, or he's just like booking it over with like full hop or like running shine. Like there's one of the two. I
think one of my part of the reason I think I underuse lasers because like I don't know necessarily the range that I feel like comfortable using it from. Uh, I feel like Cody actually uses it much closer than I realized was like good.
Well, the thing
Like
is,
he's like just outside of the Marth range.
well, he either is or he's like far away. So like
Yeah.
as an example, like the lasers here, so he gets hit by that one, but again, ASDI down. These are far lasers. I think that we can agree on that. Like these are these are definitely outside it. Like let's actually draw this out a little bit. So Marth's over like I feel like Cody does do both. This is one of the ranges because like I think if we think about Marth's dash attack here, how far does Marth's dash attack go in front of him? Like if he did it from standing here.
I feel like it's probably like literally the end of that laser maybe.
Yeah, so like here. And his forward smash would be what? Like maybe here?
Yeah, probably around there.
Cool. So like with that in mind, we have like a pretty powerful tool here in that it just outranges him. But if Cody were like the other thing about Cody is that he will operate with lasers a little bit closer. Usually I think the reason it looks like he's so close though, because if Cody's here right now.
Yeah.
Part of why it looks so close though is because if he does it here, a lot of times that Zain takes it as an opportunity to engage, but then Cody like understands that because he was closer on firing, he doesn't want to do a second one. Like he doesn't do short hop double laser here very often.
Yeah, he goes for like the dash back probably.
Yeah, exactly. Or he holds down and preps a counter hit, or he like buffers spot dodge. Like he does something.
Yeah.
It varies, but he does something. So I think that like the difference between these two laser distances is actually quite meaningful. Because like the one of them outranges Marth and the other one kind of like gives him an opportunity to like potentially interact with us, but that's kind of like the point of the laser. We want him to play on our terms, and that means him coming forward sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like what I want to point out is it's not always that he like just that he retreats after, because here he dashes forward.
Yeah, he goes for the super overshoot running shine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's after they've shown
it just
the interactions like earlier.
Yeah,
But,
because of like what's happened in the match, he just knows like he's like, yeah, this feels right.
Yeah.
What a G. God, they're so good.
The triple pummel.
Honestly, that's playing with fire. Like, I don't know why you would ever triple pummel. Like, what did you... So, what are you doing? He's at kill percent!
I don't know what that was, yeah.
Can't you get, like... Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to check something, because that made me upset. Like, I want to see something. And I know I know it's high pressure, high stakes, whatever, but, like, I gotta know. I want to know, can I, like, up throw up air and do it so that Marth... Can I just do up throw second, hit up air at 88? Because if I can, then Cody, what the hell? Now I'm invested in this now.
Whoa, how do you do... Are there hotkeys for this?
It's R plus L plus the D-pad.
Oh my gosh, I literally just laser people to the percent I want.
Oh my god, no! Okay. Okay, so it is like an awkward percent.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, I don't know what the triple pummel does either way.
So he just doesn't die.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
So that's why the third pummel was there.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
I think that's got to be what it was, because I bet this will kill him. Okay, not quite yet.
All right. Well, maybe we would have seen the quadra pummel.
We'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. I'm wrong. I should never have doubted Cody, etc. But like, it's, Oh my god, he's just lost the game, but I know he wins this one. But he should lose.
I have a question about this scenario actually.
Sure.
Is like when you feel like, so let's say like I'm on FD in particular, or yeah, like FD usually, and I'm like in the corner. Is my best option just to like go ledge? I feel like I end up stuck here, and I try and let the Marth swing before I do something.
Okay, so like when you're here, when you mean like actually in the corner, not being grabbed. Okay.
Yeah, like I think it's like right after this, or maybe it was before. I'm not sure. A little bit more. Okay, like after this detail, yeah. So like not being grabbed, but like I'm just in, for whatever reason, I'm just like maybe I got knocked back here or something like that. I always feel like super uncomfortable, and I like try and like have the Marth swing so I can just run through them or something like that. I guess like, is my best option just going ledge and going for a ledge dash or something?
I don't actually love that option. Like it does work. I don't love it, but it does work. So what do you think? What do you think Marth's options are here?
Well, I feel like, I don't know. I guess like probably like I feel like he probably tries to like work his way into like F smash range usually.
Okay, so
he has like D tilt.
So he might.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So he might F smash.
Yeah, he has D tilt as well. If I just get scared and like try shielding, he'll just go for a grab usually.
Okay.
I don't feel like they ever dash attack in this case.
So fat forward smash. We also have fair.
Yeah, there is fair too.
Okay, that makes sense. So like fair makes some amount of sense. So let's do that. What else could he go for? We said we also, so fair we'll say is like this thing, like, or this blob.
Yeah.
And then what else could he theoretically go for? He said D tilt. D tilt is kind of like this line here, kind of like around here. Okay, so you could, one thing I'm noticing here is, of these, which ones are the easiest to do? Like which ones are the easiest to do when you're dash dancing?
When you're dash dancing, so, well, I guess you can't use D tilt. I mean, probably just fair is the easiest one.
Yeah, so like if Marth is dash dancing, I think that gives us like a good amount of information about like what we should and shouldn't be playing around.
Yes.
So like, yeah, like, so Marth right now is crouching. So of these, which ones are going to be easy for him to go to? Like, are there all of them he can basically go for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Are there some that are easier to go for than others?
Well, definitely D tilt and F smash, I feel like, because they're just one hit or one stick movement or whatever.
Yeah, they're like efficient. They're like very simple. They're efficient. So like my thing would be is, if we know, if crouching makes this one easier and this one easier, why not go around him?
Yeah. Okay. And then versus fair, I can just think about interacting with a fair like normal.
Yeah, like if he's in the air, like if he was, instead of being on the floor like this, if he was like if this we'll make it pink. If like this is where he is right now with being on the ground, if he's like in the air like this and like representing this fair instead, then yeah, we're just interacting with a fair with our dash dance and movement.
Okay, I think I need to reframe how I'm looking at his movement and think about like what options he has, because that seems like a pretty clear through line for a lot of these things.
Yeah. Like, we need to know more about what, like, we have a very good idea on what's going on with us, but we need to have a better idea on what's going on with him. The other thing that I would say here is, if we know that, like, forward smash and down tilt are things he's representing, it'll sound silly, but, like, rolling into him, like, rolling through him is not the worst thing that you can do.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I never do that.
Yeah, because, like, if we roll around him like this, right? Like, roll from here to here, if we get, it's going to dodge the F smash. So we're good into this. Down tilt is a problem, but like usually what he gets off that is just turnaround grab, which can be good, which can be bad, but like especially if we're at high percent, like if we were at like 117, that's
I'd
actually
get grabbed, to be honest.
Yeah, like that's really good all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So this is like, Yeah, knowing what options he's like kind of steered towards or locked into based on what he's doing is quite good. If he ever shields, that's a big clue as to what he's doing, like what he can and can't do. Shielding is weird because you want to go over it, but like that's actually one of the things he's better at covering because he can like jump up and fair you.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, versus like, yeah, I never thought about that. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's like shield grab, but that's like pretty much the only real ground option.
Yeah. He actually has better air options and ground options out of shield.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, I think it must have been one of your YouTube shorts, but like I started doing run up shield on when I'm like super high percent against Marth because it just feels like they're not going to get anything from the grab, and like I can get really close to them.
Mm-hmm. No, like absolutely. Like it's just it kind of does a lot of the thing. Like it does everything you want in a play, basically. And like it kind of just it limits his options. Like really the name of the game versus like any character, Marth especially though, is just limiting their options based on like what we know about where they are. And yeah, like what restrictions we impose on them with our decisions. Like shielding is a really obvious one because it just stops hits. But like we can also see that the decisions he makes here matter a lot. Like again, we're at like Cody's at 17 here. If Cody uses his crouch cancel, how realistically, like, what can Marth realistically do to, like, open him up here that isn't grab?
That's true, yeah. Even the detail didn't knock down at 18% when he was crouch canceling, so... Yeah, there's a lot of room, I guess.
Yeah, there's only 2 moves I can think of that do anything to that. Tipper forward smash and
grab.
And falling down air.
Oh, yes, yeah.
But, like, those are both very risky options. So, what's interesting here is that, like, if you actually think the Marth is going to go for any of those, what if you spot dodged?
Yeah, that's also true.
Because, like, now all of a sudden we're funneling options. Because, like, we're using the crouch cancel. We can use the crouch cancel as, like, a bait here, right? To, like, kind of, like, condition him or, like, cue to him. Like, we're signaling to Marth, hey, do one of these heavy attack. Like, do an overhead for me real quick so that, like, you can deal with my crouch cancel. And then he's like, okay, yeah, heard you loud and clear. Comes over with grab. And then we're like, psych, Matrix. And then we just like, then we shine him across the stage, up smash him. We're like, yes, I'm the best player in the world, Cody Schwab. Let's go.
Okay, this is all coming together. I feel like, yeah, just knowing what options the Marth has is like, or I just need to play with that much more consciously, to be honest.
Yeah, so let me add to this. So copy text. Let me just put this an updated message here. So key takeaways. I think the biggest thing, key takeaways. I think the big theme here is just being more cognizant of Marth's options.
Yeah.
Yeah, more awareness of Marth's options based on his character stance /
and like my percent.
Well, more awareness of how effective those options are on Fox based on Fox's percent and character stance. Percent, and actually just game state.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on his character stance / game state. And then finally, like, just using them to in combat to bait or make to bait or outplay Marth's microgame. So like e.g. Crouch at low percent crouch at low percent prompts for Tipper F smash, falling dare, grab, grab, and we'll make grab all caps. Mixing up with spot dodge as a or full hop as possible full chop as possible counterplay, because like we're kind of luring him. We're using one to lure him into the other.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that we're at time, so we're gonna have to call it. I do have somebody else next. But yeah, this was helpful. Was this helpful? Like, does this make a little more sense? Like, how are we doing here?
Yeah, I really want to practice versus Marth now because I feel like, I I think I just wasn't cognizant enough of a lot of things, and like even though like I did implement some things naturally, I probably didn't know why. I probably just did it because it worked. So yeah, this is really helpful. Thank you.
Amazing. All right, I'm gonna go. I will see you in 2 weeks, and yeah, if you have any follow-up questions or if you want, like, you know how this works at this point. I'm not going through the thing again.
Yeah.
All right,
Sounds good.
Take care, Harsha.
Thank you, KK.